Good day, I'm Elizabeth Kempen and I will be presenting findings of 3 studies which related to the use of social media within the context of custom-made apparel designers, referred to as fashion designers, and their customers. I acknowledge my co-authors' contribution to this research, also acknowledging the Women in Research Support Grant from UNISA for funding this research project. During this presentation, I will present a short background related to the research, specifically emphasizing the problem that resulted in the purpose of the study. Activity theory will be introduced as a theoretical framework in which the study was contextualized. The methodology followed in the study will be outlined, after which the main findings will be presented. I will conclude the presentation with some valuable thoughts, emphasizing the contribution of the study and a few recommendations going forward. Today's fashion design student is potentially tomorrow's fashion design entrepreneur, actively managing a business that relies on their entrepreneurial mindset to manage challenges and find solutions in order to sustain their business. In the business of custom-made apparel, designers are required to find innovation ways to reach new and existing customers and to keep up with current demands of their customers. Social media through smartphone usage has not only empowered customers, but it offers the fashion designer the opportunity to grow their business and service their customer near or far. Digital technology advancement is currently challenging fashion design education, and it has not only become an integral part of the fashion industry, but has connected the fashion industry with their customers. It has become an important marketing and communication tool of businesses of all sizes, although not being used optimally by fashion design entrepreneurs in emerging economies. Fashion design education is not only responsible for advancing the creativity of a fashion design student, but to stay in touch with a digitally connected customer in order to facilitate custom-made design, which may not be a significant focus of design education. Little research is focused on the role social media plays in the design decisions between the customer and fashion designer as entrepreneur. Therefore, the purpose of the study was to determine how social media facilitates custom-made apparel design decisions in small fashion entrepreneurial contexts, and to determine the value of social media in these contexts. Activity theory is a theoretical framework for analyzing and understanding human interaction and subsequent activities with technology as tools and artifacts. An activity system is a collective of activities undertaken by actors. The activity is linked to various actions with a specific purpose, thus reflecting on what people do. Activities use tools to achieve a particular outcome and represent 6 components of the activity system. 3 components represent the top structure of the activity system as indicated in Figure A. This is the subject or actions of people involved in the activity, the object or purpose of the action towards solving a problem, and the tool as the mediating device, such as social media, used to achieve the outcome or product of the activity system. In the context of the study, social media platforms are the design communication tool. The object is an ordered custom designed garment, and the subject is the customer who requires the garment. The bottom structure of the activity system in Figure A includes the remaining 3 components, highlighting the influences of other factors on the outcome of the activity. This is the community of significant others, including people who have a common interest in the same object, such as social influences, of which the relation between the subject and the community is mediated by the rule component that regulates the subject's actions. Rules include explicit and implicit regulations, norms, conventions, and standards that constrain actions. Finally, the division of labor component indicates what is being done by whom towards the object, such as a designer or seamstress. The reciprocal relationship between these components contribute to a better understanding of the activity system, resulting in the value of activity theory. Unstrom's 3rd generation activity theory model introduces 2 interactive activity systems, describing how one activity system can connect with the other through all the components. Drawing on Sharpless and colleagues' rework of Unstrom's 2001 model, activity is separated in the semiotic layer, representing the actions to promote the objective, and the technological layer, representing engagement with technology added to each of the activity theory components. Data from 3 independent exploratory descriptive qualitative studies conducted in Gauteng were used for this research. Study 1 was a case study conducted through personal interviews, 13 custom-made apparel designers within an incubation hub. Study 2 consisted of 11 mini-focus groups discussions held with 31 customers of custom-made designers. Neither Study 1 nor 2 specifically elicited data on social media usage, but it emerged from the participant conversation. Study 3 determined in more depth custom-made apparel customers' social media use through 8 online purposeful interviews with customers of these designers. To ensure participatory eligibility for each of the studies, participants were purposefully selected according to set inclusion criteria to provide relevant information. Synchronous face-to-face personal interviews and mini-focus groups were held for Study 1 and 2, with synchronous online interviews conducted for Study 3. Data saturation was reached through conceptual depth of the data. Content analysis was performed inductively on transcribed data. Trustworthiness criteria was applied to ensure the quality of the research, and ethics clearance was obtained before data gathering commenced. 4 themes emerged that broadly describe the use of social media between the customer and the fashion design activity system, of which the first is social media as a distance bridging tool. In this instance, social media is used to shorten the distance between customers and the fashion designer, as it is convenient and attractive to customers. Fashion designers use social media to facilitate the sourcing of raw material, enabling them to send pictures and confirm prices and suitability of available fabrics. In this way, the customer has an input in the selection of fabric without being in the store. Social media as an inspirational tool shows customers predominantly communicating with their designers through Facebook, WhatsApp, or Instagram. These tools are also used as inspirational sources for future designs. In this instance, pictures form the semiotics during the use of social media, as fashion designers also use their mobile phones to access new ideas and inspiration when saying, I also go to the internet to look at patterns. No, I'm using my phone. I Google. I like Pinterest as well. Social media as a marketing tool is used by fashion designers who have a Facebook presence where prospective customers can see them. Customers notice this, and to them it means the designer wants to show what they can create. In these instances, the semiotics emanate through design pictures. Through pictures, the semiotics assist in deciding on the designer to use. Social media is not only attracting customers who look for designers, but it also used to find and follow fashion designers as the semiotics become linguistically effective. Social media as a design process tool is used during 3 different design phases in the customer and fashion design activity system. During the introductory phase, the design request is initiated by the customer, and social media is used to initiate the conversation. Fashion designers may also initiate this phase using social media technology to communicate a design they have in mind for the customer. In both activity systems, the semiotic element emerges through language and pictures to start the design process. Design development results from the introduction, to which the fashion designer responds through the use of social media by sharing ideas they think might work or might not work. Subsequently, customers' body measurements are confirmed by sending the measurements on WhatsApp. The semiotics of measurement includes pictures or language of detailed measurements. The customer and the fashion designer continue developing the exactness of the design through social media. During the design progress and completion phase, the fashion designer uses social media to communicate the progress by messaging or sending pictures of the progress. In this phase, garment fitting and collection may be the only physical contact taking place during the design activities. Some fashion designers do not require physical fit and can judge fit through pictures of the customer. Semiotic engagement results from language or pictures sent between the customer and the fashion designer. Based on the findings in the proposed activity systems illustrated in Figure 1, we have constructed a two-way activity system to describe the use of social media as a design communication tool between the customer and the fashion designer. The proposed activity system for each of the subjects suggested that social media platforms play a role in the configuration as it acts as a distance bridging, inspirational, marketing, and design process tool during the engagement between the customer and the fashion designer. It is proposed that social media mediates the design activities between the two systems for the custom-made object to become the outcome. During the design process, design ideas and alternatives are brought from both systems by each subject, the fashion designer and the customer, to be considered for the final design. Through social media mediation, the designed object or outcome, seen as Object 3 in figure, is achieved between the two collaborating activity systems using language and pictures as semiotics between the activity systems. As all components of the activity theory are interlinked, social media further mediates communication within both activity systems through comments on posts and pictures sharing as semiotics between customers and the fashion designer continue. Context is achieved through mobile phone interaction that takes place between the customer and the fashion designer, including engagement with the fashion designer community, accessed through Facebook's comments, which depict the semiotics of the context and authenticates the designer, and control is a technological interaction between both systems that is governed by social media rules about the platform that are used to access comments and posts by the designers, which include social rules at a semiotic level. Social media, thus, is a core tool within the activity system of both customer and fashion designer, through which all activity theory components are interlinked. The evidence suggests that although social media is usually considered a marketing tool, fashion designers in emerging market context use this tool to communicate design ideas and alternatives, fulfilling an important role across all components of the activity system for both customers and fashion designers. It is therefore important that the influence of social media on the design process should not be overlooked in design education curriculum, as it can contribute towards efficient customer service for startup entrepreneurs in an emerging economy. This research has contributed through a tech activity theory to show the way in which social media is used and how the design process is managed through social media. Further research is needed to fully understand the effect of social media on fashion design profiles and its role in establishing South African's fashion designer in an emerging context. Thank you.